Sports Talks with Amari Walker.
Hey guys, welcome to the third episode of Sports Talks with Amari Walker. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about what winning this year's Super Bowl means for Patrick Mahomes' legacy, and I'm going to be giving you guys my predictions on who I think is going to win the Super Bowl. Let's get into it. So this year's Super Bowl is going to be between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. A lot is on the line this year. A lot of interesting storylines when it comes to this year's Super Bowl. Like, can Patrick Mahomes win his third Super Bowl ring in 4 years? Or can the underdog 49ers win their fifth Super Bowl title? And most importantly, is if Brock Purdy can go from the last pick in the draft to a Super Bowl champion. I feel like the player with the most on the line is Patrick Mahomes. To me, it feels like if he does win this Super Bowl, then we have to include him in the GOAT conversation. I mean, Patrick Mahomes already has 2 rings at the age of 28. And I feel like if Patrick Mahomes does win this year's Super Bowl, you could arguably say that he has surpassed both of the Manning brothers. Patrick Mahomes already has the same amount of playoff wins as Peyton Manning, with both of them being at 14 wins. Peyton Manning, as a matter of fact, only had a record of 2-4 at Mahomes' age. Patrick Mahomes overall has a playoff record of 14-3, and Peyton Manning has a record of 14-13. Mahomes down the line will have double the amount of playoff wins that he has right now. Meanwhile, Peyton's little brother Eli has a playoff record of 8-4. Mahomes, to me, is already better than them, having the same amount of rings as them at the young age of 28 years old. But right now, let's get into who I think will win the Super Bowl this year. I truly believe that the Kansas City Chiefs will win this year's Super Bowl. Here's why. The Chiefs have been looking unstoppable in this year's postseason. Players have truly been stepping up, like Travis Kelce. Kelce, as we all know, has been struggling all throughout the regular season. But in this year's playoffs, he scored 3 touchdowns in the last 2 games, reminding the general public why he's one of the best tight ends of all time. Isaiah Pacheco is also another player that's been stepping up too. He has scored a touchdown in pretty much every single game of this year's playoffs. Another thing that I think could play into the Chiefs' advantage is their experience. This is their 4th Super Bowl in 4 years. I find it hard to believe that the 49ers will be able to handle the bright lights. Also, I truly believe that Brock Purdy will not be able to outperform Patrick Mahomes in the quarterback head-to-head matchup. And overall, Patrick Mahomes has been playing better than Brock Purdy this entire postseason. Let's look at their stats closely here. Let's look at Mahomes' stats first. Mahomes has 70 completions, 183 attempts, a winning percentage of 68%, and he has thrown for 718 yards, and he has an average of 239 passing yards per game, and he has 4 passing touchdowns, and he has a game average of 7, and he has a touchdown percentage of 3.9%, and he has thrown for 0 interceptions, and he has only been sacked twice, and has only lost 11 yards total due to being sacked. And lastly, Mahomes' passer rating is 100.7%. Now let's look at Brock Purdy's playoff stats. Brock only has 43 completions. He has a winning percentage of 61.5%, and he has thrown for 519 yards. He actually has a higher match average than Mahomes. Brock Purdy's match average is 7.4. He also averages more yards than Patrick Mahomes too. Purdy averages over 259 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and he has a touchdown percentage of 3%. He has 1 interception, and he has been sacked 3 times, while Mahomes has only been sacked twice. And he has lost 16 total yards due to being sacked, and his passer rating is 87.7%. While I know that Purdy averages more yards than Mahomes does, and I know that Mahomes has played more playoff games than Purdy has this season, the reason why I say that Patrick Mahomes is playing better than Brock Purdy this playoffs is because his completion rate is higher than Purdy's. It's better than Purdy's. And his passer rating is better than Purdy's as well. And to add on top of that, Mahomes is just fresh off beating the possible league MVP, Lamar Jackson. And he beat another highly ranked player, Josh Allen, the round before that. If Patrick Mahomes got past the league MVP and Josh Allen, I'm sure he's not going to have a problem getting past the 49ers on Sunday. But that's going to wrap up today's episode. Stay tuned for next week's episode. Goodbye, everyone.